Hello everybody, this is Dr. Brett here at MaxLife Chiropractic. I am putting together a quick video for you, kind of a somewhat intro to our office slash what the heck are you doing here type of deal. Because our mission or our goal here, our focus in our practice is very simple, and that's basically to keep you or you and your family as active and healthy for as long as stinking possible. So many people we see nowadays, they've kind of given themselves up to the fact that when you hit 30 or 40 or 50, things go downhill and you don't function as well as you used to, and general aches and pains are just a normal thing of everyday existence. I'm here to tell you that that's not the truth. We have people in here all the time that once they understand what I'm going to tell you a little bit about and they do the work to get themselves back to where they need to be or they're supposed to be, they do fine. They don't have the ups and downs like they used to. I mean, don't get me wrong, everyone has a little bit of ups and downs, but the frequency is less, the severity is less, the quality of life overall is normal, and many of them are outperforming, in the general term, people that are half their age in some cases on there. So it's pretty simple. Our focus is to do that here, and it sometimes comes through the form of tough love. So bear with it in the fact that sometimes when we tell you something you don't want to hear, it's for no other reason other than to get your head straight so you can get your body straight, and vice versa in some cases as well too. So, and I know that you guys, we live in a world, including myself, we don't have a lot of time. So hence the reason this video, I'm going to try to give you a brief little rundown of what we do here, why, and how it applies to your life, and the best way for you to take advantage of that. So I'm going to start with a little bit of Chiropractic 101 with this whole spine thing here. Because most people come in here because the back hurts, the neck hurts, they got headaches, or they got tingling or numbness or something like that. In other words, your body's gotten to a point where the symptoms have become prevalent. Understand this, that's no different than the oil light on your car, is that your oil light does not turn on when your oil is 90% good. In other words, 10% low. Your oil light turns on when it gets to a critical point down here. In other words, there's 10% or less of oil life left is when the light comes on. At that point in time, you're already starting to do damage on something like that. In other words, don't take care of your car in a way where you wait for a light to tell you what to do. Most people don't do that. At least I hope not. But from a health standpoint, we do that all the time. We wait until a symptom shows up. My back hurts, my neck hurts, my stomach hurts, my head hurts, my whatever. You get what I'm talking about. By the time you've gotten to that point, there's already tissue damage. You've already done damage that in some cases can't be undone. We see people all the time with arthritic changes in their spine that have been there for ages and ages and ages that they could have warded off if taken the proper steps decades ago in some cases when they didn't have a symptom. So what I'm saying here is that we focus on the function of your spine, not the symptoms of your spine. The main thing I look at from a chiropractic standpoint is your spine is designed for two things: to keep you upright, posture, as well as to protect your nervous system. Those two things are critical pieces to the whole process here, and we've got to figure out how to make sure those things work properly, because your nervous system, you think about it, what controls your entire body? Your thoughts, how things feel, how your heart works, how your lungs work, everything that you experience, how your muscles work and move. Everything, this finger moving is my brain telling my hand or muscles to do what it's supposed to do. It's your nervous system. If this doesn't work properly, you don't work properly. So that's what we focus on from that perspective. I look at it from a functional standpoint. So plain and simple, the best way to describe this is that as time goes on, if left unchecked, the function of your body will start to decline. And sooner or later, like we talked about, the symptomatic threshold is reached here. In other words, here's the oil light that turns on. Well, this is about the same time when people decide to make a decision or a change with their health. They say, something's going on, I need to figure it out. I want my symptom, this thing, to go away here. We're not focused on the function in many cases, but we've lost range of motion. Our posture's become distorted. Our lifestyle has led itself to be more sedentary. So many people sit behind desks. All these things continue to dip, which hurts our function. So most people, they come in here, they go to a PT, they go to a massage therapist, they go get pills, they go whatever magic potion or lotion they use to help them start to move back up until they start to feel better. And then at this point right here, they say, well, guess what? I feel better, I'm fixed. Which we all know, all relative to this, is that if that's the case, you go back to doing what you're doing, guess what happens? You play this game over and over and over and over and over. Look at the trajectory here. This is a functional trajectory here where your body starts to decline because, again, you're causing damage to tissue. Every time you damage tissue, You don't get back what you had before. If you've ever rolled your ankle before, you've done damage to the soft tissue. I will guarantee you can say that, especially if you've done it a couple times, your ankle's never been the same again. It clicks, it pops, it hurts, you can't do the same things, you don't have the same jumping power, you don't have the same speed, things like that happen. Function decreases, that tissue gets destroyed, and you end up in a functional deficit over here. In a lot of cases, once you get to a certain point, you can't get that back. What am I saying here? This is critical. I'm going to use a different color here because it's so critical. This right here, you've got to make the decision there. That decision that happens now, either go this way, you play that game, or you continue to climb the hill here. What I sell in here, if I'm going to use that word, because understand this, everything that we talk about, you have to be sold your health. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here to begin with, because you would have bought your own health at that point. What I sell here is you fixing problems. And from that, I simply mean is that I want you to feel better first and foremost. All of our doctors want you to feel better. Everybody here wants you to feel better. That's goal number one. That happens right here. This is one. Goal number two is that you actually get better, that we allow the tissue to heal. We allow the nervous system to turn back on and start to regain control of the muscles in there. It allows the healing process to start to take place. The same thing happens. I mean, you think about it. What's the difference between if I cut my arm here, what does it do over a period of time? It starts to heal. If I took a body of a dead animal, for example, and I cut that animal's skin, what doesn't happen? It doesn't heal. It doesn't have the ability to do that because there's no life moving through it anymore. Your life moves through your nervous system. That's what we want to happen here. Is your nervous system heals, it improves the tissue, it improves the function of your body. That's when you actually start to get back up to here, where we talked about it before, a level of health. Your health is determined by function. So once you're here, the goal is this: stay here, type of deal. This has way more to do with you than anything else that I'm going to do, that any other healthcare provider is going to do whatsoever. This is based on lifestyle. If we give you the things you need to do and the things you need to watch out for, the way to balance the scales of the lifestyle we live right now, you can keep yourself there without trickling yourself back down the hill. So hopefully that makes sense in regards to that. You got here because you've allowed function to decrease slowly over time in an asymptomatic and non-symptomatic way. You didn't know what was going on, type of thing. Your car was getting low on oil, but the light wasn't on. Light went off, you come in here, I tell you, well, you know what, you've been this way for years or maybe decades in some cases on something like that. And yes, I want you to feel better, but two, I want you to get better. That's why I tell you this, because I know it took you a long time to get there. It's not going to happen overnight. And understand this, my goal is not for you to be dependent upon what I do. My goal is to teach you what you need to do to take care of yourself so that you can turn the tide back around in the right direction. But just know the fact is that when you dig a deep enough of a hole, you need some help to get out of the hole. That's my whole goal here with you, is to give you a helping hand to pull you up, to gain the momentum you need to climb back up the hill. What I don't want to see is you here. Because when I see you there, there's not much I can do for you at that point in time. That's when I give you cards of neurosurgeons and orthopedic surgeons and things like that, because you've damaged the tissue to the point where it can't repair itself. You've damaged the nervous system to the point where it no longer functions. It affects how you feel, your symptoms. It affects your muscle control. It starts to affect the organ control in your body. The same nerves that control your hands control your heart and your lungs, for example. If your hands are numb, guess what your heart's probably doing as well too. You get my point there. So understand that in regards to what we do here, I want you climbing the hill. My goal is to give you the resources to do that, to teach you the things you need to do. My goal is to give you an environment to do it in as well too, that helps motivate you, that inspires you to do more, to do better along the way. The other thing I want to do here is that you start to think differently about your health in general, not only your health, but the health of your families as well too. Don't let them get to this point. If you would have been in here as a child, or if you would have taken care of some of these functional issues as a child, you never would have gotten to this point to begin with. That's our goal here. I never want to see your quality of life dip to the point where it's crisis management mode. So hopefully you understand where we're coming from. The last thing is as well too here, once you be comfortable, it's always your decision what you do. We're going to give you best possible scenario. That's what you pay us for. When you walk in the door, we took an oath as healthcare providers to give you what is in your best interest to get you back to where you need to be. And we will always do that. We'll never compromise something like that. And I hope you can respect that as well too. So again, we're an open book here. We want you here because you want to be here. We try to make things as convenient as possible from a schedule standpoint, from a financial standpoint, from a at-home standpoint, and just I want you to have fun when you're here, plain and simple. So we hope you enjoyed this. If you have questions, you can leave comments below. You can email us. Ask us when you come in next time. You can call us, whatever you want to do. We want to help you. So thanks again for your time. We'll see you soon.